For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up images on pages in Photoshop. This is specifically for the white balance project, where we have to put two pictures on one 8.5 by 11 page with some text. So to do that, you want to open Photoshop, go to File, Browse in Bridge. All right, this is Bridge. I like to look at Bridge in film strip mode. If it's not, there we go, you can always reset it. Film strip mode. That way you see your pictures big right here. A quick note about Bridge, of course you're going to want to go into Computer and then find your student drive and find your pictures. When you have them here, you can flip through them using either the mouse or the arrows on your keyboard. When you find one that you like, see how this one is labeled red, I can press Control-6 on my keyboard and that labels it red. And you'll see over here that I have 100 non-labeled photographs, 11 red selected photographs, and 6 yellow photographs. If I click on these, if I click on the red, I could just see the ones that I have labeled red. If I click on the yellow ones, I see the red and the yellow labels. And if I click on no label, I see them all. See how they're checked over here. Once you find the pictures that you like, because you took so many pictures for this project, you have to dwindle it down to 3 that you're actually going to turn into me. This is a great way to go through and select the pictures. So I would go through first, and the ones that you like, Control-6 and label them red. And then once you get all of those, then you can go through again and you press Control-7 to label it yellow. That way it kind of, dwindles it down even more. I'm actually going to go back and Control-7 this one and Control-7 that one, and that way I have, yes, good. Now if you accidentally Control-7 something or Control-6 a photo that you don't really want labeled, you just press it again. So Control-7 and Control-7, and that unselects it. So now what I have here are my 3 images for this project. I'm going to open a set of them first. And to open the set, you can highlight like that and right-click and open it. It'll just open it in Photoshop, or to open one image, you just double-click it in Photoshop. So you'll see up here I have tabs. Here's my first one and my second one. Okay, and I want to put these 2 photographs on one page. So to do that, you go File, New, and you have to set up your page. Our large photographic paper is 8.5 by 11 inches. So if you want it portrait, you make the width 8.5 and the height 11. But for this photograph, I'm actually going to do it the other way around. I'm going to make a landscape picture, so I'm going to make the width 11 and the height 8.5. Your resolution should always be 300 pixels per inch, and you always want to make sure that you're doing inches, not pixels here for the height and the width. RGB color, 8-bit is fine. Background is white, and you say OK, and that creates a new blank page for you. Now I'm going to click on my image that's the normal picture, taken with normal white balance, and I'm going to click on that tab and pull it down so it's its own window. I want to transfer this picture onto this blank piece of paper. So to do that, I select the Move tool, which is this arrow. If I hover over it, it actually says the Move tool. Keyboard shortcut is V, and I can grab that picture, drag it over here, and let go. Okay. Now you'll see if I go to image size, this picture is actually 32 inches by 53 inches and 72 resolution. When I drag it over here, it converts the picture to 300 resolution, which is why it's not huge, but it's still really big. I'm going to put this picture back up in my tabs. Go back over here. I still need to shrink this picture and make it smaller. To do that, you go Edit, Free Transform, or the keyboard shortcut is Control-T. Control-T. Why is it not doing it? Control T. There it goes. There it goes. Because I wasn't on my layer. See how now I'm on the background layer? It's highlighted, or the layer 1 layer. I wasn't on that. That's why I wasn't doing it. All right, to make this smaller, you want to always hold down the Shift key and drag from the corner. Holding down the Shift key keeps the proportions of your image so you don't distort it. If I don't hold down the Shift key, I can go like this, and I can go like this, and it can distort the picture. You don't want to do that. So always hold down the Shift key and drag from the corner. Okay? That keeps the proportions. Okay? And then when you're done, you can either press Enter or click this little check mark here to apply that transformation. Then I'm going to go to my second picture, which is the warm-toned picture. I'm going to do the same thing with the Move tool. Click it, drag it over here, and put this back up in my tabs. Control T, hold down the Shift key, make it smaller. If you remember with our assignment sheet, this one is going to want to be a little bit larger. The original non-changed picture is going to be smaller, and the one that you altered should be bigger. Okay. Now you'll see over here in your layers palette that you have a background layer. You have layer 1, which is the smaller picture, and you have layer 2, which is your largest picture. You want to make sure you're on the correct layer that you want to work on anytime you're in Photoshop. So if I want to move layer 2, I should be on layer 2 here, and then I can move layer 2. Okay. All right, the last thing I need to do is add some text. So here is the T is your text tool. When you click on it, you'll see up here that you have all your fonts, all your sizes, your orientation, and your color. If you want to even change some colors, you can do that. That's up to you. So let's see, 24 should be fine. You can either click and just type, or you can click and drag and make a little text box and type in that. I can say original image taken with sunny white balance for correct colors. Okay, then I can click on the Move tool again, and I can actually move that text around. If you notice over here, now I have a text layer. Okay, then I can do the same thing here. Make a little text box here. Altered image taken with cloudy white balance to warm up the image. I say image twice, I don't like that. For a warm tone. There you go, that's better. Move tool, you can move that around. Oh, I don't know. I don't like how it did that with the word balance. You can change that if you want to. You can go back in. There. And then last thing I'm going to do is put my name over here in the corner. And I can move that too. And there you go. There's also a spell check. Edit, spell check. If you want to, make sure that you correctly spelled everything in your image. You can always go back in with the text tool, and I can, highlight it and change my size or my font or whatever you want to do, color if you want to. That's totally up to you. When you are done with this, you're going to save it. File, save as. Okay, make sure you put it in the correct place. So teacher, my teacher drive, your student drive under your name. I would name it like white balance image 1. Okay. Sometimes I even say for print, like ready to print and that sort of thing. You will notice that it automatically makes it a Photoshop document. That's because you have multiple layers here. You can keep it a Photoshop document if you would like. All that means is that you would be able to, it's going to save all of your layers, so you would be able to go back in and alter those layers if you need to. You can also save it as a JPEG. If you do that, it's going to flatten all of these layers, so you're not going to be able to work on them again. That's all that means. You are going to need to save a JPEG though, because I'm going to ask you to upload these to Edmodo, and you can only upload JPEGs to Edmodo. You cannot upload Photoshop documents to Edmodo. We won't be able to look at them. So if you want to save it both ways, you could do that. You could save it as a Photoshop and as a JPEG. I think I'm pretty done with mine, so I'm just going to save it as a JPEG and say save. This always pops up just asking you your quality, which is maximum, and that's what you want, and you say okay. Then when you go to print these images, you will print photo quality. You'll print a photograph, but you will print it with white borders, because this is not borderless like the last pictures that we printed were borderless. You don't want to do that. You want to print with white borders. Make sure that you select 8.5 by 11 paper. And at that last print screen, right before you click the final print button, if you scroll down a bit, there's a place that says Scale to Fit Media. Check that. When you check that, it shrinks your picture just a little bit, so that if you had, like say you had your name down here right at the edge, it would cut that off, or even like over here. But if you click Scale to Fit Media, then it shrinks it just a little bit so nothing gets cut off. And that's about it. Glossy side down, unless you're on the Canon printer, and then the glossy side faces towards you. We will do the same technique many, many times throughout the semester, so it's good that you understand and remember all of this, and of course refer back to this screencast if you ever need to at any other time. All right, good luck. Happy resizing.